Life's been so crazy lately. I rolled my ankle so bad January, like middle of January. I was out on a 4 or 5 mile run, and the fucking Seattle construction people had like some shit and debris on the street. I happened to like hop into the street on the bike path area, rolled that shit. I was healed a week. And what I mean by that, I could walk, put weight on my foot, didn't feel like it was giving me any issue. Great. Kept running, was getting faster. Life was so good. Last Sunday, I went down Queen Anne, which is a 400-foot hill in the Seattle area, and that's where I live. And going downhill, it had just rained, and there's like a fuck ton of potholes and shit on the ground. So I just did a little like step to the side. I guess my ankle was just not ready for that, and I rolled it again a second time. Holy fuck. And yeah, so I haven't ran in a week. I'm still doing stuff at home with like weights, doing what I can. I got that shit elevated. I'm doing some physical therapy that the doctor gave me that I could do at home, because I'm not fucking gonna pay for that. I'm not gonna pay for that. I have YouTube University, and I have this packet of exercises that urgent care gave me, so I will be doing that, and I have been doing that for a week. Yeah, so that's where I've been. I'm still taking all the vitamins I talked about, with the addition of a greens powder. I ain't gonna do that shit. I'm gonna eat my greens. I tried to get into having like some protein powder shit. I went to Whole Foods, and they have little samples of 2 different types of plant-based protein, because I cannot handle and digest whey good, or I don't want dairy. I don't mix well with dairy. So I was trying the pea protein route. That shit made me break out, and it hurt my stomach. I primarily eat whole foods. I try to keep processed food down. And I definitely don't drink powders of any sort. So the green juice powder, the protein powder, I don't think I'm a fan. I don't think it's for me. I think I get plenty of fiber through the fruits and veggies that I have. Like every day for breakfast, I will have a banana, an apple, an orange, and that is just for breakfast. That doesn't count all the fruit that I like to snack on and buy myself for groceries. So yeah, it kind of sucks. Like, I really want to PR like my mile time. I want to get fast. I think I'm going to start transitioning out of maybe long distance running for a while. I've ran 2 marathons, and it's really hard on the legs and whatnot. But I think what I need to do is go back to basics. And by that, I mean I need to do more mobility work, more stretching, more yoga. One of my New Year's resolutions was to do a handstand. Now I want to incorporate the splits. You used to be able to do them in elementary, middle school, high school. And it's because I obviously was neglecting my body in a plethora of ways. And now I'm going to be 28 next month. I just want to end my 20s on a high one. And I want to feel good in my body. And this repeated ankle sprain injury is just a reminder for me that I need to take care of myself. I need to move. I'm already moving, but I need to stretch, and I need to focus on strengthening the tendons and ligaments and muscle groups throughout my body, not just my ankles. So like I'm very turned on right now into possibly getting into some calisthenics stuff. I would love to get those little, little do things that people put on the floor, and they like do the push-ups, the dips. I want those. But yeah, I felt like, I guess, just recording something for me to check in with myself, so I cannot feel so down in the dumps, and then have like, I don't know, like a diary of this point in time in my life. And it's been humbling. It has been very humbling, like it sucks not running. And I was using running as therapy for a lot of things, and not being able to lean in on that type of physical exercise to exert all the stress that I typically carry on a day-to-day has a big impact on my like psychological state of mind at the moment. However, we're finding other ways and other avenues to combat that. So, number one, I'm not smoking weed right now. I have to give it up, and I got to give it up for a minute. Like, the longest I went without smoking weed since I started was started smoking weed when I was 15. I'm going to be 28. I went before I was 25, I went like 2 years, like maybe like when I was 23 to 25, I went like 2 straight years without smoking, almost going on 3 years. And then I moved out of state, thought, what the fuck, what the hell, I can do it. Brought weed back into my life. And then I go through cycles of like, not even for tolerance breaks. It's a little bit for that, but more like weed kind of puts me in a psychosis at certain points, like well into smoking for like months at a time, where I need to take a step back and be like, whoa, what the fuck? Let's unscramble the brain. Let's relax. Let's remember how to talk and think properly like a normal person, not under the influence. And I don't take anything else prescribed. Like, I am just free balling, raw dogging life. And I think that's very good for me. I think that is very healing for me to just be uncomfortably present in the moment, because I do a lot of things to put me in an escapist state of mind, so I don't feel like I'm in this reality, and that's not healthy. I need to be in this reality. I want to be a part of this reality, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I want it all. So I am navigating a headspace right now where I feel like a piece of shit because I can't move like how I want to, but at the same time, I feel very hopeful, and I have faith in trusting the process, and I feel like I'm going to really come out of this stronger. I have a even stronger desire to do better, be better, and continue to be healthy in ways that are in my control, because a lot of the things around us that happen in our realities, they're in our control, and we don't have to like push that off towards something else in the name of not taking responsibility or accountability. But yeah, that's where I've been. And I need to substitute. I don't have any social media but YouTube, and YouTube is starting to become more brain rot, and that's partly because of what I guess I'm watching and what the algorithm's feeding me. So I need to like fix that, which I have been. And I need to, tap into my spirituality a little bit more. I took a step away from that. It always happens when I smoke weed. I like to detach myself from my higher self, because I know I feel guilt in smoking sometimes. And life was just getting real rough last year towards the end of it. But this winter had a lot of introspection, had a lot of time to kind of look at my life in a perspective that just gave me more time for reflection and introspection. And there's a lot of things that I want to change about myself for the better. And I know the process is long and lifelong. So I'm not trying to do this only in my 20s or only in my 30s or only in my 40s. I want to build habits that are life sustaining and will carry me into old age comfortably, because life is suffering, and it's going to happen to all of us at one point. Suffering will happen to you, and you need to have mental resilience, and you need to exercise that mental resilience in different ways to be able to take on that load, because it's inevitable. Like, it's been happening for millennia, and sometimes I get stuck in my own dogma about what suffering is, or like I try to intellectualize it, or I try to like find ways to outsmart it, so I think I'm above it. But it's not. No one is above it, and we can't escape the highs and lows in life. And that's kind of just where I've been. I think I'm ready to just reopen my heart space, and it's gonna start with healing this fucking ankle. But I gotta do my like ABCs and shit, you know, like, and hopefully I'll be so good in like a month. They told me I can't run for 4 weeks, and I wanted to scream and shout and let everything out, you know, like drop dead in that moment. I never thought that I would be a runner, and I never thought that I would miss it as much as I did. But we're gonna get so strong. We've been tightening up a lot of things since August of last year, and I'm seeing results now, and I feel really good about it, and I just can't wait to continue to keep doing what I've been doing and be patient. That's it. I just need to have patience. I think if we all had more patience and I think if we all focused more on holding space and having patience and compassion rather than discipline, things would go a lot smoother and easier. You know? I don't know. I don't know shit because I hurt myself. So I obviously don't know anything. I don't know anything. And we're fragile. Humans are fragile. Okay. Well, have a good day.